Yes.
Live.
Live.
Okay. So we're live, and this is the 11th night of the prayers for the swift return of Kyabje Sopa Rinpoche. Tonight we'll also be doing the light offerings afterwards and reading out names of sponsors. So if you ask the question, why is it important for Rinpoche to return quickly? The reason I would say is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So it's extremely important that Rinpoche's Yangtze, the next incarnation, is totally unmistaken. Therefore, it's very important that His Holiness is in this world and recognizes Rinpoche, and is also that Rinpoche is able to take the Gyatso and hopefully the Gelong vows also from His Holiness. So today, Punsok Rinpoche and Doma Geshe Rinpoche both received their Gelong vows from His Holiness in Dharamsala. And I think it was 2 days ago, Lama Lundrup's incarnation received the Gyatso vows. So Sita Rinpoche, when he came to Kopan, he made it very clear that it's important that Rinpoche comes back in order to make this connection with His Holiness as much as possible. Okay. We're just waiting for the Pali chanting to finish. And we can do the mantra to increase the power of recitation. Teyata Om Dare Dare Bandare So, 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 Teyata Om Dare Dare Bandare So. The Noble Sutra, remembering the three jewels. In Sanskrit, Arya Ratna Traya Anushmriti Sutra. In Tibetan, Papa Kunchok Jesu Drimbedo. Homage to Omniscient One. Purified and consummate, victorious, virtuous and transcendent, thus gone, foe-destroying, entirely perfect Buddha, full of wisdom, the blissfully proceeding, the knower of the world, charioteer and subduer of beings, the unsurpassable and teacher of gods and humans, such is Buddha, victorious, virtuous and transcendent. He who is thus gone exemplifies the merit which is his cause. In him no root of virtue is ever worn away. Through his manifold patience he is excellently beautiful. He is a treasure ground of merit, adorned with the tokens of enlightenment. He is graced with the flowers and the marks of Buddhahood. All he does is timely and opportune, and nothing inharmonious mars the sight of him. True joy indeed he gives to those who open up their hearts to him in faith. Through the brilliance of his wisdom he is unconfounded, and against his power there is no victory. He is the teacher of all living beings, the father of all bodhisattvas, the king of all supreme ones. He is a guide for those who journey to the city beyond affliction. His wisdom is unbounded, his assurance is beyond imagination. His speech is altogether pure, well-tuned and sweet to hear. Gazing on him one is never sated. His body is beyond compare. By the realm of desire he is unstained, and by the realm of form he is wholly uncontaminated. He is not mingled with the formless, he is altogether free from misery, and from the aggregates he is utterly and altogether liberated. The elements have no hold on him, he has mastery over the sense powers. All his bonds are completely severed, and from all pains he is perfectly and totally released. No craving does he has passed beyond the stream. Perfect is his wisdom, and in the wisdom of the Buddhas, past, present, and to come, he has made his dwelling. In Nirvana, where all suffering is transcended, he does not abide. His abode is on the summit of perfection, whence he perceives all living beings. Such are the sublime qualities that are the greatness of the Buddha, victorious, virtuous, and transcendent. The sacred doctrine is righteous in the outset, righteous in the middle, righteous in the end. In its meaning excellent, and in its words and syllables likewise. It is integral and unalloyed, it is all-sufficing, altogether pure and purifying. Well spoken is this Dhamma by the victorious, virtuous, and transcendent. It is a perfect way of seeing and is devoid of flaws. It is perennial and leads us onward. To see this Dharma is to fulfill one's purpose. It produces in the wise the wisdom all distinguishing. The Dharma spoken by the victorious, virtuous, and transcendent is shown to be well-tempered to the instructions and to the needs of all. It drives one from samsara and causes one to go to perfect Buddhahood. It is free from contradiction, and in it all is summarized. It is to be relied upon totally. It is a cutting of the root. The Sangha of the Mahayana comprises those who well entered, wisely entered with straightforwardness and aptitude. Right it is to join one's hands before them, and right to make prostrations. They are the glorious field of merit. They are the perfect recipient of gifts. They are the objects of offering everywhere and always. They are the objects worthy of all offering. Wisdom bestowal. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound Tantra. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound Tantra. Until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Lama, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. To achieve perfect awakening for others, I shall recite this profound Tantra. Arya Jetsam Manjushri appears instantly in the sky before me, seated upon a lotus and moon set amidst cloud banks of ravishing offerings. He shines as brilliant as a mountain of gold, rising above the whitest of clouds, and with a gentle smile he is the very epitome of youth. A 16-year-old blazing with all the major and minor marks, he has one face and four hands. His first pair of hands holds a sword of wisdom and a book, while the remaining pair holds the bow of method and the arrow of wisdom. Seated in the lotus posture, he rests his back against the moon. He wears a skirt of various silks and is adorned with the finest jewels. His hair, braided with umpala flowers, is tied up upon his crown, where the lord of the family Akshobhya abides. This empty yet apparent kaya of wisdom appears clear and vivid like a rainbow in the sky. O wonderment, Jushi, you find no equivalent in the appearance of samsara and of nirvana. Amongst Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Stravakas, and Brahmacheka Buddhas, nor are Brahma and Indra, the greatest of the gods, your equal. Therefore the names and kayas that you display in accordance with the infinite array of nobles, as well as your qualities, cannot be contained within the vastness of the sky. They fill my mind with the greatest incontrovertible devotion. So with a voice that resounds with the gentle beauty of a tambura, I sing the adamantine names of the embodiment of pure wisdom. When the liturgy of your adamantine names is set to melody, and the qualities of your knowledge, love, and power are invoked, causing compassion's brilliance to illuminate the threefold world in all its entirety. This recitation banishes the darkness of the twofold obscurations and eliminates the negativity and downfalls gathered by both myself and all others since time without beginning. It causes a lotus blossom of supreme mind to bloom, awakening the two knowledges of nature and phenomena in their multiplicity. And chanting names of noble Manjushri in a separate booklet. In the Indian language, Arya Manjushri Nam Sangiti. In Tibetan, Baba Jambagi Eten Yandava Juma. In English, chanting the names of noble Manjushri. Homage to ever youthful Manjushri. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme Sajuro, the hard to tame, the hero conquering the triple world, the Vajra, lord and master of all secrets, with eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence, accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce turbulent brows, some duos of the hard to tame heroes appearing with heroic hideous forms, brandishing in their hands their mighty Vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light. great benefactors to all living beings, through skill, through insight, and through great compassion, with pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies, those of wrathful deities, protectors who assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverentially, paid homage to the true awakened one, protector and blessed one, Tathagata, and joining his two palms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following: O omnipresent Lord, for my well-being, would you concern for me and for my sake, that I may reach complete awakening upon the basis of illusions net, and for the sake of every living being sunk deep into the mud of ignorance, their thoughts disturbed by various afflictions, so that they may obtain the highest fruit. May you, the most supreme awakened one, the blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, and those the great Samaya's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the nickname chanting of the wisdom body of the blessed one, the great Ishnisha, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation, the wisdom deity called Manjushri, these names with meaning both profound and vast, and great significance unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the aeons past, and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once but time and time again by all the Buddhas of the present age, which were respectfully recited in illusion's net, the Tantra most supreme, by multitudes of mighty Vajrapanis, the joyous guardians of secret mantras. Just this I shall uphold with firm resolve until I reach my final liberation, so that I may become a great protector and bearer of the Buddha's every secret. And this I shall reveal to living beings according to each one's capacity, in order that afflictions may be quelled, so ignorance may fully be dispelled. With this request to the Tathagata, the master of all secrets, Vajrapani, his body bowed, his palms politely joined, and stood before the Lord devotedly. And so the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, the Basta man, the fully awakened one, extending from his mouth his handsome tongue, a tongue unmatched in both its breadth and length, displaying a gentle smile to living beings, a smile that fills the threefold world with light. Enemy, the former, as it ends unwanted birth in all three forms. His voice melodious like that of Brahma, completely filling all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, the Vajrapani, strongest of the strong, that you, abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil quelling, purifying chanting, the chanting of the name so filled with meaning of Manjushri's embodiment of wisdom. How truly excellent, O Vajradhara, how excellent of you, O Vajrapani. And so I shall, O Master of all secrets, reveal just that to you most splendidly. With single-minded focus, listen well, how excellent, responded Vajrapani. So truly excellent, O Blessed One. And then the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, surveyed in full the family great with mantras, the family of the Vidyas and the mantras, the family that is threefold by its nature, the family of and yet beyond the world, the family great in brightening the world, the foremost family of Mahamudra, and so the family great with great Ishnisha. And then about the Lord of speech he spoke these verses, which include 6 kingly mantras, which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising, a a I I u u a shtito shuddhi, jnanam murti aham buddho buddhanam tvadva patinam. Om Vashatishna Dukkha Chedam Brajnanyana Murtaya Jnanakaya Bhageshvara Abharapatsanaya Tenama. And so he is the Blessed One, the Buddha, awakened, fully born of the letter A. He is the letter A, the foremost phoneme, the supreme, most suitable, with meaning great, arising from great vital force, unborn, beyond expression based on words or speech, the foremost cause of every form of speech, the shining force of every kind of language, great feast who takes the form of great passion, producing bliss in every sentient being, great feast who takes the form of great anger, great enemy of every mental poison, great feast who is by nature great delusion, delusion's vanquisher for deluded minds, great feast who is in essence great fury, great adversary to all furiousness, great feast who takes the form of great desire, who vanquishes desire in all forms. He is great carnal lust, he is great bliss, he is great happiness, he is great joy, with great appearance bearing form supreme, with great complexion marked by great physique, with great renown, the great magnificent one, his mandala voluminous and great, the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme, most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the great illusion's aims, Great illusions rupture, the great illusions, great illusionist, the foremost lord of great magnificence, supreme upholder of great discipline, intense supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence, samadhi resting through great meditation, endowed with bodies flowing from great wisdom, both great in strength and great in skillful means, a brimming ocean filled with vows and knowledge, by nature great in kindness, limitless, the foremost mind enriched by great compassion, of great insight, of great intelligence, great dexterous one, with methods ever great, commanding powers and great miracles, with driving force supreme, with speed unmatched, renowned great Lord of foremost majesty, most valorous, owing to his great might, destroying the massive mountain and becoming unyielding, holding strong a massive Vajra, great terrifying Lord, the great cruel one, revoking fear in great and daunting creatures, protector as the greatest of all Vidyas, a guru as the greatest of all mantras, traversing well the Mahayana's path, himself the Mahayana's foremost way. He is Mahabharachana, the Buddha, great sage, observing great intensive silence, arising from the great mantra way. He is at heart the great mantra way, accomplished in the 10 paramitas, having the 10 paramitas as home, in whom the 10 paramitas are pure, for whom the 10 paramitas are means, protector reigning over all 10 grounds, residing steadily on all 10 grounds, made pure in nature by the tenfold knowledge, maintaining purity through tenfold knowledge, with tenfold forms intent on tenfold content, with tenfold strength, pervasive Lord of sages, achieving every aim for every being, endowed with tenfold mastery supreme, beginningless complexity, devoid by nature pure reality and essence, unwavering, a speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned, a teacher of the non-dual truth, non-dual, atop reality's most lofty peak, with selflessness his wild lions roar, instilling fear in deer-like misled seekers, their journeys fruitful, traveling everywhere, as swift as thought in all targeters, a victor slayer of foes, triumphant lord, a universal king with forces great, assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler, most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way, the Lord of speech, the master of expression, most skilled in words, adept with language truthful, with boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth, no coming back, no turning round, right, no, the leader of the partaker Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, a single cause of all great elements, our hot big shoe, the farmers exhausted, devoid of passion, master of the senses, arrived at comfort, met with security, for he, having cooled down, is free from stains, equipped him full with knowledge and his base, a Sugata, best knower of the world, not thinking me, not clinging on to mine, established in a system of two truths, of psychic lives far sure, with deeds accomplished, resting on the bank, emerging from untainted lone awareness, with sword-like insight ever penetrating, the Son, the Dharma King, the noble Dharma, supreme illuminator of the world, the Dharma Lord, the sovereign of the Dharma, the teacher of the path to excellence, accomplishing all goals, fulfilling aims, completely free from wants of any kind, bereft of thought and non-depleting source, the Dharma source, supreme beyond decay, enriched by merit, merits gathering, unique great wisdom, wisdom, wisdom rich, aware of what exists and what does not, while gathering the twofold gathering, eternal yogin, king of everywhere, the object in the mind of concentration, the master of intelligent reflection, for by oneself alone is he experienced, immovable, the ultimate beginning, the holder of the three enlightened bodies, the Buddha formed of 5 embodiments, the omnipresent made of 5 wisdoms, his diadem with 5 awakened ones, with all 5 eyes maintaining non-attachment, the great progenitor of all the Buddha's eminent and foremost son, arising from the world of true insight, the sourceless Dharma source, existence ending, comprised of Vajras, holy, dense, and firm, the newborn sovereign ruler of the world, emerging from the sky, the self-arisen, a massive blaze of knowledge and of insight, illuminating beacon of great light, a lamp of wisdom shining brilliantly, a light for beings, a lantern unto wisdom, with energy supreme, most radiant, the Vidya King, the greatest mantras Lord, the Mantra King, achieving noble aims, the great Ashnisha, marvelous Ashnisha, the Lord of speech, revealer of all things, the best embodiment of every Buddha, with eyes the joy of every living being, Creator manifesting varied forms, great sage, deserving praise, deserving worship, a mantrin born into the triple family, upholding mantras of the foremost pledge, the greatest bearer of the triple gem, who teaches all 3 peerless vehicles, with snare unfailing, most victorious, the snatcher ever great, the Vajra snare, The Vajra hook, the snare of excellence, called Vajrambhadava, he is terrific. Six-faced, the king of anger, hideous, six-eyed, six-armed, the ever-powerful. Bearing his terrible fangs, a skeleton, hala hala, 100 faces proud. The Yama killer ruling obstacles, instilling fear with Vajra impetus. The Vajra-hearted, famous for his Vajra, with belly large, with Vajras of illusion. The Vajra born, the sovereign of the Vajra, akin to space, his core comprised of Vajras. Unmoving, haughty, with his single dreadlock, his clothes an elephant's raw hide still moist. The great, terrific one who cries ha ha, who screams he, instilling fervent fear. His laugh, a screeching laugh, a booming laugh, he is the Vajra laugh, the mighty howl. He is the noble Safa, Vajra Safa, the Vajra's sovereign lord, the highest bliss. The Vajra's wrathfulness, the highest joy, intoning hymns of Vajra Humgara. With Vajra arrows serving as his weapon, his sword comprised of Vajra slashing all. Upholding every Vajra, Vajra bearing, with just a single Vajra ending strike. With eyes like Vajra fire, truly dreadful, with hair that's like a Vajra set ablaze. Immersion of the Vajra, great immersion, with eyes like Vajra's eyes 100-fold. With Vajra hairs a sprout upon his body, his unique figure marked by Vajra hairs. With nails advancing Vajras at their tips, with skin that's solid like a Vajra's core. The splendid master donning Vajra garlands, adorned with Vajra fashioned ornaments. With booming voice, his laughter crying ha ha, six-syllable, producing Vajra rumbles. Gave Manju Ghosha sound supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world. The voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all voice endowed. He is a being whose fully realized truth, reality, its peak and selflessness, supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken, teaching both the deep and vast. The Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance, arriving at unbounded liberation. He is the Dharma drum in all directions, without a form, with handsome form supreme, replete with forms diverse, comprised of mind, with splendor shining through his every form, with all reflections under his control. Invincible, renowned as Lord Supreme, the Lord Supreme who rules the threefold world, abiding on the noble's lofty path, great source of flourishing, the Dharma's crown. Unique unto all worlds, the elder, senior, father of all beings, adorned with 32 auspicious marks, most beautiful, most handsome in all worlds. The teacher teaching mundane good and knowledge, the teacher to all beings most confident, the world's most trusted guide, protector, savior, the refuge unsurpassed, the guardian, with rich enjoyments filling all of space, the knowledge ocean of omniscient beings, while smashing through the shell of ignorance and breaking through the cage of psychic life. The thorough queller of intense affliction, arriving at samsara's opposite shore. His crown, the crown of wisdom, consecration, his ornaments comprising perfect Buddhas, the soother of the path, the threefold pain, the ender of the trio ending free, arriving at the threefold liberation, completely free of every obscuration, having achieved a quality sky-like beyond the stains of every last affliction, aware of timelessness in all three times, most eminent amongst all sentient beings, the crown amongst those crowned with noble virtues, completely free from every kind of substrate, established firmly on the path of space, a splendid wish-fulfilling jewel in hand, the best of all, this precious, omnipresent, great wish-fulfilling tree, most plentiful, the greatest of all great auspicious vases, fulfilling the aims of living beings, a doer, an ally most beloved to all creatures, aware of good and bad, aware of times, the omnipresent knower of the pledges, upholding pledges, conscious of occasions, awake to varied aptitudes in beings, with expertise in threefold liberation, with virtues, knowing Dharma, auspicious source of all auspiciousness, of all auspicious things, the most auspicious, great splendor, glory, good, most prosperous, great reassurance, foremost celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure, abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble Lord of splendor, the greatest granter of all wishes wished for, the highest source of refuge, refuge granting, the fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms, with tufts of hair, with plumes of luscious hair, with matted locks cord tied, 5 face with 5 hair tufts, his head well crowned, his head adorned with garlands of 5 strands, upholding great observances, head shaven, the foremost of observances, chaste student, with great austerities perfected fully, he is the greatest Veda Gautama, and Brahman, or Brahman, arrived in full at Brahman Nirvana, awakening his branches, liberation, release, complete tranquility, quiescence, Nirvana, peacefulness, tranquility, approaching graceful entry to Nirvana, the culmination ending pain and pleasure, the state devoid of passion, free from substance, beyond defeat, unmanifest, unmatched, not making manifest, appearance free, the evasive, timeless, fully omnipresent, minute, beyond defilement, seed free, unstained, devoid of passion, passionless, controlling humors, free from every honest, by nature most awakened, fully awake, omniscient, knowing everything supreme, beyond reality as consciousness, pristine awareness, bearing non-dual form, beyond conceptualization, effort-free, acting as Buddhas do in every age. The Buddha endless and beginningless, the Buddha at the start, devoid of sequence, with wisdom as his only eye unstained, the Tathagata with wisdom as his body, the sovereign of all language, great debater, the king of discourse, best of orators, the best and greatest of communicators, the unassailable, the lion of speech, with universal vision, true delight, with fire garlands handsome to behold, the endless knob, most radiant, great luster, with shining rays in hand, providing light, the best and foremost of all great physicians, unequaled in removing thorns of pain, a tree providing medicine for all, a foe opposing every malady, the lovely crowning jewel of all three worlds, the cluster of the stars most glorious, the end of space in all its 10 directions, the hoisting high of Dharma's victory flag, sharing one large umbrella with the world, with love and kindness as his mandala, the celebrated lotus lord of dance, pervasive with his precious parasol, the blazing energy of all the Buddhas, with bodies fully shared by all the Buddhas, the highest union form with all the Buddhas, a single teaching taught by all the Buddhas, most glorious with Vajraratna's blessing, the highest sovereign lord of Savaratna, Imam Sava Logeshwara, the Lord on high of Sava Vajradhara, the quintessential mind of Sarva Buddha, residing in the mind of every Buddha, the greatest body born by every Buddha, the lovely speech enriching every Buddha, the scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless and others, with multicolored rays that brightly blaze, the perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, attaining for all beings the Buddha's Dhamma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated son, the knowledge treasurer for the omniscient, the sovereign king controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajratishna, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable, atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajradharma as his mighty weapon, with Vajra depth renowned as Jinajik, with Vajra thought aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory gnats, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth sustaining beings, great embryo from which all Buddhas form, with emanation circles most diverse, the highest nature of all entities, supportive of the nature of all things, with goals for all when dhammas unarisen, supportive of the nature of all dhammas, with full awareness of phenomena, and but an instant as the wisest sage, with vivid realization of all dhammas, he is a sage, the greatest intellect, the vanquisher of hosts of evil spirits, unwavering, completely pure in nature, grasping the wakefulness of perfect Buddhas, the direct realization of all Buddhas. He is the flame of wisdom, luminous, the great fulfiller of desired aims, the purifier of all evil states, the greatest of all living beings, protector, the earnest liberator of all creatures, unrivaled knight in battle with afflictions, humiliating ignorance his foe, the celebrated mind of amorousness, endowed with forms heroic and repulsive, the dancer moving to and fro his hundreds of lengthy arms while setting down his stride, the dancer spreading through the whole of space, and filling it with Shrimad's 100 arms, stood tall atop the surface of the earth. The soul of just 1 foot pervading all, stood tall atop the summit of the world. The nail of his big toe suppressing all, whose aim is one, whose aim is non-dual Dharma, whose aim is ultimate beyond destruction, whose mind consists in groups of consciousness, with varied objects, forms, and cognizance, amused with every object of existence, a mind of passion, loving emptiness, transcending worldly passion and the like, with great enjoyment for the threefold world, with fair complexion, white like pristine clouds, with radiant side beams from autumn moons, with luster rivaling the morning suns, with nails emitting light of crimson red, whose handsome crown has sterling sapphires, whose hair has tips of sapphire deep blue, with glory from the light of his great jewel, adorned with emanations of the Buddhas, the shaker of 100 worldly realms, his strength the four miraculous powers, reality with mindfulness supreme, Samadhi, king of fourfold mindfulness, infused with sense from bloom on Bodhi's branches, an ocean of Tathagata virtues, with knowledge of the eightfold path's true way, with knowledge of the path of perfect Buddhas, the great attachment of all living beings, attachment-free, comparable to space, when springing up in every creature's mind. He is for every being a swiftest mind, aware of all the aptitudes of beings, while captivating every creature's mind with insight into aggregated natures, himself with fully pure five aggregates atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, is formed the way of fourfold noble truth, with realization of the eightfold knowledge, with meaning of the truths in 12-fold form, aware of such as in his 16 forms, with true awakening in 20 forms, awakened fully knowing all supreme, dispatching countless sets of some 10 million embodiments of emanating Buddhas, the final realization of all moments, who knows each moment's object for all minds and manifesting for the sake of beings, with means derived from varied vehicles, gone forth by way of all three vehicles, remaining in the single vehicle's fruit, with purified afflictive spheres at heart, if karmic sphere arrived atop dry land from flooding oceans, emerged from yoga's perilous dark grove, released from general, minor, and complete afflictions and their latent tendencies, with insight, means, and foremost empathy, achieving fruitful aims for living beings, abiding object-free through all perceptions, with consciousness as object, with cessation, with every being the object of his mind, with knowledge as the mind of all the Buddhas, residing in the minds of every being, having become their mind's equality and satisfying the mind of every being. He is for every being great in a joy, confusion-free regarding points of doctrine, completely free from error in all its forms, his thinking free from doubt, his object threefold, his object all three properties by nature throughout three times the content of five skandhas, discerning clearly each and every moment, awakening in but a single moment, his basic nature equal to all Buddhas, with body, bodiless, the best of bodies, with realization of the peak of bodies, displaying his form in every possible way. He is the greatest stone, the precious gem, what all the perfect Buddhas are to know. The Buddha's unsurpassed awakening, devoid of syllables, yet born of mantra, arising from great mantras, threefold family, the father to the meaning of all mantras, the greatest Bindu, void of syllables, with five great syllables, great empty one, 100-syllable, devoid of Bindu, endowed with every form, yet free from form, supporting half of 16 Bindus, transcending every grouping, void of members, sustaining Dhyana's fourth and final peak, aware of Dhyana's each and every aspect, with knowledge of Samadhi's types and families, the best of bodies, body of Samadhi, the sovereign king of all enjoyment bodies, the best of bodies, emanation body, the heir to emanations of the Buddhas, with varied emanations everywhere, while benefiting all however needed, the sovereign of the God of gods, Asura Lord, the ruler of immortals, the king of deities, the God's Guru, the highest Lord of Pramatas, Pramata, emerged from cyclic life's imposing forest, the single teacher Guru for all beings in every well-known world in all directions, the eminent bestower of the Dharma, concealed by armor made of loving kindness, well shielded by the shield of empathy, with wisdom sword in hand, with bow and arrow, concluding war with ignorance and klesha, the Mara's enemy and tamer hero, eliminating threats from all four Maras, defeating all the armies of the Maras, a guide for living beings, a perfect Buddha, deserving homage, worthy of respect, deserving reverence, always honorable, deserving worship, worthy of regard, the highest Guru ever venerable, traversing all three worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, where knowledge of the three world vast and pure, with sixfold higher knowledge and recall, the body suffer and Mars suffer, with power great transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature, the whole aware of self, aware of other, for fit for all he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared, supreme most Lord of knowing and what's known, the foremost master of imparting Dharma, who shows the meaning of the fourfold seal, the most revered amongst all living beings, engaging going forth on all three paths, with glory purified by ultimate truth, most fortunate within the threefold world, the celebrated source of all endowments, supreme among the glorious Manjushri, homage to you, boon granted best of Vajras, O summit of existence, homage to you, whose source is emptiness, O Buddha's awakening, homage to you, O passion of the Buddhas, homage to you, desire of the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O love of every Buddha, homage to you, the joy of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O smile of every Buddha, homage to you, the laugh of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O speech of every Buddha, homage to you, The heart of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, arisen from non-being, homage to you. Homage to you, arisen from the Buddhas, arisen from the sky, homage to you. Homage to you, born of pristine wisdom, O net evolution, homage to you. Homage to you, the Buddha's spectacle, homage to you, the everything of all. O body of wisdom, homage to you. Om Sarva Dhammam Bhava Sambhava Bishunde Vajra Bragiti Ambare Shuddha Sarvandama Yadun Sarvanandangandanyana Kaya Manjushi Ambare Shuddha Dham Om Badayande Sarvandandagada Shuddhayam Hara Hara Om Hum Shri Bhagavan Yana Muti Bhageshwar Mahavacha Sarvadama Gagana Mala Sumbari Shuddha Dharmada Jnana Garbha Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, most pleased and satisfied with 40 palms, prostrated to the Buddha, noble God, the Blessed One, the Lord Tathagata, and with a host of other Vajrapanis of varied forms, the Lord of Guyakas, sublime protectors, noble wrathful kings, he then exclaimed this effervescent praise. Protector, we rejoice, so excellent, O excellent, what you have clearly taught. Through you our lofty aim has been achieved, which leads to true and full awakening. And so the aims of helpless mundane beings who seek the fruits of perfect liberation. Just this taught in the Maya Jala is the noble path that leads to excellence. With largest, fastest, and profundity, with meaning great, achieving beings' aims. Just this comprises every Buddha sphere. Just this is taught by all awakened ones. So we go back to the booklet and the innermost essence of the Arya Manjushri Tantra. So after reciting the long Tantra one time, then when we recite the short one, this short innermost essence, and it's equivalent of reciting the Tantra 2 more times. In the language of India, Arya Manjushri Tantra Chitta. In the language of Tibet, Baba Jamba, Gyu Ki, Yang Ning. In the English language, the innermost essence, the Arya Manjushri Tantra. I go straight to the youthful Manjushri in this way, to the Bhagavan Buddha, the wisdom body, self-arisen, the stainless soul, eye of wisdom, the brilliant light of wisdom. Arapatsanaya Tenama, homage to you, the wisdom body itself. Thus it was explained by all the complete Buddhas, the perfect expression of the ultimate names of the Bhagavan, the wisdom being Manjushri, as proclaimed by Tathagata Shakyamuni, is complete. In the language of India, Arya Manjushri Tantra Chitra. In the language of Tibet, Baba Jamba, Gyuki, Yangni. In the English language, the innermost essence of the Arya Manjushri Tantra. I go straight to the youthful Manjushri in this way to the Bhagavan Buddha, the wisdom body, self-arisen, the stainless soul, eye of wisdom, the brilliant light of wisdom, Arabatsanaya Nama. Homage to you, the wisdom body itself. Thus it was explained by all the complete Buddhas. Perfect expression of the ultimate names of the Bhagavan, the wisdom being Manjushri, as proclaimed by the Tathagata Shakyamuni, is complete. Wisdom bestowed continued. Samandabhadras, oceanic clouds, the finest of offerings, both actually laid out and mentally conjured, arranged to fill the whole of existence. May they please you ever, youthful Manjushri. Om Arya Manjushri Agam Padyam Pupe Du Alake Gande Nirde Shaptam Pradiksam Soha. Homage to you, Manjushri, sole embodiment of the wisdom of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You bring glory and splendor to all of samsara nirvana. Protected with the perfect recitation of your adamantine names, I shall praise you fully from this moment onward until my awakening. Please hold me in your care with joy, Manjushri, son of speech. Bless me so that in the short term the wisdoms of study, contemplation, and meditation will blossom fully, and I may teach, debate, and compose without equal. Ultimately, may I achieve the wisdom kaya that knows all percepts and things, to lead all beings to the supreme state of the ever-youthful Manjushri. Manjushri, you are ever free from elaboration, but in the illusory forms of dependent arising, you burst forth as the embodiment of wisdom, which returns to the natural Dharmadhatu. By the power of all positive merit I have created through this practice, may all beings come to enjoy the wisdom of the Sukhatas. And then on the separate sheet, the swift return prayers, beginning with His Holiness's prayer. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children, victorious ones, Shravakas and Bracheka Buddhas, victorious Losam, father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings. Through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Patient in bearing the hardships of spreading the teachings of Muni in general, and the teachings of victorious Jamgon Tsongkhapa in hundreds of directions, Lord of Dharma holding the three vows and wearing saffron robes, please quickly return as the glory of the peerless teachings. You held the teachings of explanation and practice with great asceticism, unable to bear the transmigratory beings that confused by the darkness of suffering. Through your great loving kindness, you skillfully led them to happiness. Unparalleled Son of the teachings, please return quickly. Beautified by the ornament of supreme patience, increasing the practice, the supreme authentic teachings of the victorious one, through listening, reflection, and meditation, guide of all transmigratory beings along the perfect path, true and perfect pure Guru, please return quickly. Lama Kyan, Lama Kyan, Chen Chen Sawe, Lama Kyan, no. Chen Chen Sawe, Lama Sen Chin Go Su So, Nanda Lombo So Wa Nine De. Da son du jen gyambo ma do wa lo ma du son sangye jingye lo kene kungya da wa chamba nam ma ga sa yin la nyam sho nam se chen du she ranga na so cho Yeshe gyatro sungo nyojane sechen doshe gongwe de la ba shen she cheko yene shem kolong golo drowe dandungo kacho lo so da shem ma shumbo lo cho tsambo lingye dan ro la London Demba Belchen New Johnson Nyamda Drowa Drenchen New Johnson Daso Sanchen Lobo Odamba Naso Jane Goson Jingelo Daso Sanchen Marit and Rungi Koson Todan Tren Lelon Bla Gyatro Nandan Dansen Nambana Kusun Tosa Nandu Shabata Tashi Kungi Tashi Cho Tony Nyejen Dashi Sho Lolo Nyojan Dashi Sho Gyume Chenye Dando Gya Trume Yansin Nyojan Sho Dedan Samwe Kadronem Donya Michu Odadi Sasom Laye Jingelo Tramadonan Drumasho Mija Mije Miyonam Chuni Desalondo. And then the King of Prayers on the separate sheet. The extraordinary aspiration and the practice of Samandvajra, Samantra Bhadracharya, Pranaya Dhanaraja, Baba Zambo, Jabe, Manlangi Gyopo. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you lions among humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, and the wilds of ten directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down with the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down on every atom of Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense I offer to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru. All wondrous offerings in spectacular array I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here are still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings, you and the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. O you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together I earnestly request you who may actualize paranirvana, please stay with us for aeons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created by paying homage, offering and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, and now dedicate all this for full awakening. May you Buddhas now living in the wilds of 10 directions, and all you gone to freedom in the past accept my offerings. May those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, awakening as fully enlightened ones. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas, surrounding Buddhas gathered beneath a Bodhi tree. May as many beings that exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsara beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may their every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remembering my past lives and all varieties of existence, may I practice the Bodhisattva way, and thus in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life, then following in the footsteps of all the Buddhas, and perfecting the practice of a Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of gods, in every language of spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 parameters, and never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures his awakening mind. May I traverse all my lives in the world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky. May I ease the suffering in the lower realms, and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wanderers in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening, and be of worldly benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for aeons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the various dispositions of beings, showing the ways of bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with body, words, and also mind, may we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor, and never displease that excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for aeons to come, may I make extensive offerings to them. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realizations of Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future aeons, while circling through all states of existence. May I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha fields numberless as atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among bodhisattvas in every field, practicing the activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields, each an ocean of 3 times Buddhas, in the space of a wisp of hair. So I too will practice for an ocean of aeons. Thus I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings. In the strength of understanding I plunge into the infinite enlightened speech of the Dharma. Buddhas in 3 times gone to freedom, who continually turn the wheel of Dharma methods, I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future aeons, and I will enter into all aeons as 3 times in but a fraction of a second. In one instant I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future lines among humans, and with the power of the illusion-like stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the array of pure lands, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides, those lights of this world who are yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at their root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds. May I free an ocean of beings. May I clearly see an ocean of Dharma. May I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom. May I purify an ocean of activities. May I fulfill an ocean of aspirations. May I make offerings for an ocean of Buddhas. May I practice without discouragement for an ocean of aeons. To awaken fully through this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the diverse aspirations, the awakening practice of all Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times everywhere, in order to practice exactly as the wise one, called Samandabhadra, all-embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas. I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise may I dedicate, just as a skillful Samandabhadra, with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions, and pure Buddha fields, I shall give rise to the aspirations of Manjushri for this Bodhisattva practice of all-embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future aeons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, my actualized infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space, likewise limitless are living beings, thus limitless are karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during aeons numberless as atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and longing for highest awakening, gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way and be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha infinite light. And even in this very human life, they'll be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they will become like Samandabhadra himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the 5 boundless harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Thus, with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family attributes, and appearance, they'll be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all 3 worlds will make offerings, going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree, and sitting there to benefit sentient beings, subduing all interfering forces. They will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. Have no doubt that complete awakening is a fully ripened result, comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, and reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice, in order to train just like the hero Manjushri who knows reality as it is, and just like Samandabhadra as well. I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did, with that dedication which is praised as greatest by all the Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times. I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainments of the Bodhisattva practice, and the moment of my death arise by eliminating all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha. May I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy, born the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures, born from an extremely beautiful superlative lotus, in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, and I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from the Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions, with 1,000,000,000 emanations by the power of wisdom, through even the small virtue I have accumulated. By offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice, may all the positive aspirations of beings be fulfilled in an instant, through creating limitless positive potential. And by dedicating this prayer of Samandabhadra's deeds, may all beings drowning in this torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha. Through this king of aspirations, which is the greatest of the sublime, helping infinite wonders in samsara, through the accomplishment of this scripture, dazzling with Samandabhadra's practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. So then, a long life prayer for His Holiness Dalai Lama in the booklet. Incomparably kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Chitan Kam Dear Tende Malumo Gale Jongwe Sambel Yisheno Kadrin Some Tenzing Gyatso Cho Koze Tenching Toshe Lundro Sho. And then the Buddha's names and mantras to increase merit. Chomdende Dijin Shamadra Chamayan Dava Sambhe Sangena Manazia Gigambala Chatsalo Jajasamba Samba Chambo Kondo Sambala Chatsalo Tayata Om Mezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Mezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Bezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Bezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Bezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Bezadriwa Awa Bodhinaso Om Duru Duru Tayamungiso Tayata Om Bezadriwa Awa Bodhineso Om Dura Dura Taya Mokiso Ham Chomdende Dijin Shamadra Chamayan Dabasa Besenge Mangila Bandari Angingabola Chatsalo Chomdende Dijin Shamadra Chamayan Dabasa Bes No Damananta Cheda Dudra Megambola Chatsalo. Choose the blessings, the eminent victorious ones, the bodhisattvas, truth and infallible, dependent rising. The power of my pure special attitude, taking responsibility. May all the aims of my pure prayers be accomplished immediately. So that completes the prayers from Rinpoche's quick return and also the live stream. And then the Festival Light and Merits, the extensive offering practice.